The anime starts with a girl getting harassed by a bunch of guys. No matter how much she tells them to let go, they don't stop. Our protagonist Tenjo was on his way home when sees it. He steps in and tells them to let go of the girl. However, the bad guys didn't like the interruption at all. They brutally beat Tenjo to a pulp. Soon, a police car arrives. Before the officers could arrest them, the bad guys run away. The girl is worried to look at Tenjo's injury. She wants to help him. However, Tenjo refuses any kind of help. He stands up and heads to his home while wiping off the blood. Tenjo is aware of his appearance and makes sure to stay away from people so they don't get grossed out looking at him. But despite it, he helped the girl because even as someone like him, he wants to be kind toward others. Tenjo's appearance affects his life too much. His own parents are disgusted by his looks and make him wash his own clothes separately. Or else it will ruin their clothes. Both his younger brother and sister don't respect him either. And constantly tells him how worthless he is whenever they get a chance. With a depressed look, Tenjo enters his house and lies on the floor. He gets emotional remembering his grandfather. He was the only person to love him no matter how Tenjo looked and always encouraged him to be kind towards others. Unfortunately, Tenjo's last hope also died. To make sure Tenjo doesn't suffer, his grandfather left him the house and some savings to survive. And as expected, Tenjo's parents came to get possession of the house. But because of Tenjo's grandfather's groundwork, they were unable to get it. However, as a result, Tenjo's parents completely cut off their ties with him and left him on his own to survive. After the savings ran out, Tenjo worked hard to survive by working part-time jobs. But no matter what, it is very exhausting for a middle school student to live like this. Tenjo sleeps without eating dinner. The next day at school, Tenjo graduates from middle school. However, unlike other students, his notebook is filled with abusive and disgusting comments. As he runs away in frustration, Tenjo is stopped by his seniors. They remind him that just because he is graduating doesn't mean they will stop bullying him. As a gift, they beat him to a pulp, while the other students, including Tenjo's siblings, enjoy the sight. Tenjo wakes up, and it's already evening. He goes to his part-time job. Unfortunately, the owner fires him for being late. He heads back to his home and eats a cup of noodles for the dinner. In front of the mirror, Tenjo looks at his face. He is depressed to live a life like this. In frustration, he keeps on punching the mirror until it broke. However, suddenly the wall next to the mirror opens and turns out to be a hidden storage room. Tenjo is confused. He walks in and notices strange items present there. He realizes that this must be his grandfather's storeroom where he kept his various country souvenirs. Tenjo goes in further and finds a strange-looking door. He opens it and sees a room filled with a strange blue light. As he steps into the room, a menu appears in which a couple of instructions are given about entering another world. Tenjo is excited because it looks like a video game he used to play. Tenjo brings out his stats and is disappointed to see every stat of his is at 1. He looks out the window and is astonished to see a whole other world. On top of the table, he finds a paper with something written on it. He tries to read but couldn't because it's written in a strange language. A menu pops up to translate the text. Tenjo accepts it and got to know that this house ownership belonged to someone else. The person was on verge of his death and decided to give the ownership to anyone who enters here first. Since Tenjo is the first one to enter, the house, along with other items, are under his possession from now on. And because of a special agreement, no one can enter the house except him. Tenjo spots a bunch of weapons and picks up a sword. The sword is heavy and Tenjo is barely able to hold it. A menu pops up and gives all the necessary information about the sword. Tenjo carries the sword and goes outside. He swings the sword without any care about the world. And get tired after a few swings. And just by swinging, a menu pops up that states Tenjo has acquired level 1 of swordsmanship skill. After it, he tries out all of the available weapons. After some time, Tenjo doesn't know what to do with them, so he puts them inside a pocket space. Out of nowhere, a huge monster rushes toward Tenjo and attacks him. Tenjo freaks out. He notices the monster is not able to breach the house fence. This makes him relieved. Tenjo takes out Absolute Spear. He closes his eyes and drives the spear into the monster. With just one strike, the monster is dead for good. He is trembling with excitement. And just then, his status pops up and his level drastically increases to 100. He got some additional points to allocate to his skills and a few drop items from the monster. He picks it up and a menu pops up asking if Tenjo wants to exchange it for cash. Tenjo doesn't understand it completely and opts for yes. And after it, 2 bundles of cash worth 1.5 million yen dropped. Tenjo is speechless. He picks it up without thinking too much about it and heads to the real world. At night while sleeping, Tenjo screams as he feels incredible pain throughout his body. The next morning he wakes up, he notices a drastically different body. He goes to check himself in the mirror, but couldn't because the mirror is broken. After it, he changes his clothes and heads to the other world. While Tenjo is exploring, a monster suddenly appears. This time without any hesitation, he kills the monster. With it, Tenjo's level increases to 150. A rare item called Necklace of the Black Moon along with a magic stone is dropped. He wears the necklace and acquires a new skill, called Detect Presence. With it, he can now sense anyone's presence. Tenjo exchanges the magic stone for money and goes to buy himself a new uniform for the entrance ceremony. Tenjo's high school will be starting in a few days. So until then, he explores the other world. His curiosity about it increases, and he indulges himself in gathering as much knowledge about it. Finally, it's the day of the entrance ceremony. As Tenjo walks to the school, he finds it weird for everyone to stare at him. He doesn't think too much and keeps on walking. The bullies from earlier enter the class. Not recognizing it's Tenjo, they ask about the middle school he is from. Tenjo finds it weird for them to ask this and reminds them that he is Tenjo. Everyone in the class freaks out. Confirming something is weird about him, Tenjo rushes to the restroom. He is shocked to see himself in a totally different look. During lunch, his siblings and the bullies take Tenjo to an empty place and surround him. They remind him how worthless he is. And just because he is now handsome, that doesn't mean they will stop bullying him. Just then a car arrives. A beautiful girl comes out and greets Tenjo with a smile. Consider liking and subscribing this channel if you enjoyed the recap. Have a wonderful day ahead.